Who am I calling? Or who?
The Environmental Protection Agency is returning your call. You called us.
Yeah, I called you this morning. I had some concerns. I'm a disabled veteran, but I'm also been victimized by some kind of radioactive microwave frequency that's showering my home 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Are you familiar with Havana syndrome?
I recognize your voice. You need to contact the FCC, I believe.
Okay, you want me to contact the FCC?
Yes, they regulate what EMF, electromagnetic frequency.
Okay, they regulate that?
Yes.
Under what government law? What law is that?
I guess the Federal Communications Commission, whatever law that is under them, you can contact that agency.
Okay, but why would you? I mean, you wouldn't be telling me, you wouldn't be guiding me there unless you knew about the law or what where to look at.
Well, we inquired of our Office of Air and Radiation, and they didn't give us the law. They just said that we do not regulate EMF issues. That they're regulated by the FCC, Federal Communications Commission. So you should go to their website, find the main number, and call them and tell them about what's happening to you. I think I recognize your voice. You've called here several times, and we informed you. I can't remember your last name. It's Caruso or no? You were saying that you were being affected by some the military was shining some beams or subjecting the residents of an apartment complex with these military weaponry or.
I called you on that.
What's your last name?
You said it was Deluso? No, my last name's not Deluso,
No.
ma'am.
I didn't say Deluso. I said it starts with a C.
Nope, that's not my last name.
What's your name?
George Benavides.
George. What's your last name?
Benavides. Benavides. So I want to ask you something. Now that you mentioned EMF, what kind of information do you have on EMF? What does that stand for?
EMF it stands for electromagnetic frequencies.
Electromagnetic frequency, is that an invisible weapon?
It's some type of a beam. It's an electronic. It's some type of beam of energy.
It's a beam.
Beam. BEAM.
Do you have any documentation on that from the EPA?
No, we don't regulate that. What are you being subjected to?
Exactly what you just said. An enormous amount of radiation frequency, microwave energy frequency, Havana syndrome. Enormous rate.
And that's regulated by the FCC.
It's regulated by the FCC because I'm butting heads with them. They gave me over 879 cases around the world of people complaining about this, but they won't investigate it.
What have they said about it?
Well, that's not my jurisdiction. I said, well, that's got to be. It's a radio frequency. Why wouldn't it be your jurisdiction?
That's what we conclude.
If I can hear the noise, it's got to be their jurisdiction.
Yeah, I think somebody else had called about this, and we told them that it was the FCC that regulates this type of energy.
Mm-hmm. That it was the FCC.
Why they're saying they don't? Who are you speaking to when you call?
Oh, it's not. It was a contractor, second party contractor answering the phones for them.
Did you file a formal complaint with them on their complaint?
Oh yeah, they've got my complaints. They've got my complaints, several complaints. But what I'm trying to argue here, ma'am, is that Havana syndrome has been around since the 1950s. It's deja vu. The secret, according to congressional libraries, the Moscow signal was the first symptom, and it was the first attack on Americans. Now, it says that the Secret Service used a dosimeter and a Geiger counter to record this because they were attacking Richard Nixon. But not only that, there was a State Department that was also recording these weapons, these silent weapons. So I don't understand why we're not educated, huh?
Yeah, how come you're not contacting the State Department or?
Because it's a radio frequency that I'm hearing.
But what I'm saying is that since the State Department is looking into it, don't you think that you should contact?
Well, they were looking into it because it involved the president. It involved the president. This is involving the American citizen.
Right. We may need to find out what they did about it. Of course, if they investigated, they surely would take action on how to prevent it.
Well, I mean, the point I'm trying to make here, ma'am, the point I'm trying to make here is that if you type in on your internet browser Havana syndrome, you're going to come up with 100,000 resources, medical journals, law journals, court cases of Americans that are being harmed.
Well, I'm saying is that who are they talking about you should go to for some help concerning.
She's saying contact local law enforcement, but I was told not to contact law enforcement because they're just going to give you a lockup in a mental institution.
Well, if you have proof that the president of that the State Department has been looking into it, then they shouldn't think that you're out of your mind. That is something that's
well. The point I'm trying to make here, ma'am, is that there's got to be a government agency that regulates that can document this.
Not us. It's not us.
Not you.
And like I said, the State Department, FCC, or you can call the State Department to see how they went about addressing the issue, because if it's affecting U.S. presidents, they would have to take action.
What is your jurisdiction of your agency? What do you investigate?
We investigate air, water, land, pesticides, and hazardous waste.
Air, water, land, pesticides, and waste. Okay. So what is it with the air? What is it with the air that you investigate? Air. You said air.
Pollutants like chemicals or something that might be affecting the air. Pesticides, chemicals.
Chemicals. Okay. Like what kind of chemicals? Chemicals that are involved in the scientific.
I don't know, sir. I'm just an intake line. I don't know. If you want to know what kind of air problems we issue, you can go to our website, go to the Office of Air, and look up the types of pollutants that we address. I know we address issues with the misuse of pesticides. There's a pesticide hotline that addresses those issues. But I have researched the matter, and I was told that the FCC is the one that addresses electromagnetic frequency levels, and depending upon where it's coming from, whether it's towers or what.
Who investigates that?
Microwave.
Who investigates that, ma'am?
Who investigates what?
If it's penetrating the air, if it's in, ma'am, you said you investigate.
The radio frequencies we don't regulate. It's regulated by the FCC.
By the FCC. That's what I thought.
Got the wrong person on the phone. That's why you should file a formal complaint so they can formally respond to you.
The FCC, right?
Like got somebody on the phone. Yeah, it sounds like you got the first person who answered the phone who probably don't have any knowledge of the, magnitude of frequencies that are. We only radio frequencies would fall under what is that?
EMF. You just said EMF, right? EMF, electromagnetic frequencies.
Yeah, but I'm saying they fall. The type of radiation that we address is those that can change the atoms in a person's body, or one of them. I can't remember right now. I need to look it up.
Well, it does the same thing that an MRI does. An MRI does the same thing, ma'am. It changes your anatomy structure and your cell structure.
Only if they keep it in there longer than they should.
But what I don't understand, ma'am, what I don't understand is this, ma'am. Look, I was an X-ray technician, okay?
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait a minute. Let me just give you my argument, and then you can respond. Let me give you my argument, okay?
All I'm trying to tell you is that I told you, this is just an intake line. I told you that the staff here at EPA informed me that we do not handle that, that you should contact the FCC.
Okay, who told you that? Who told you that, ma'am?
our office on air. So if they're shirking, if FCC is shirking their responsibilities, you could file a complaint with their inspector general. They have an inspector general that investigates
But
fraud.
who told you to give instructions to contact the FCC? Who did? What was the name of that person?
I told you our office on air. I don't have a person's name to give you. I told you that they told me that we do not investigate or regulate electromagnetic frequency issues.
You said the office on air?
Yes.
They told you to tell the American people to contact the FCC.
For as far as radio frequency issues.
Okay. How many phone calls do you receive, ma'am, of Havana syndrome every day?
Only got one. We haven't seen all the time I've been here. We and other staff. We've only received one call.
And which call was that? When was that?
I can't tell you. Can't remember when it was.
You only received one call on Havana syndrome?
Yes, only one call. No one else. Only you have called about. Other than that other person have called about the Havana syndrome.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, I contacted the FCC. They said no, need to contact local law enforcement. Come on.
Like I said, did you file a formal complaint with them?
I filed complaints, ma'am. But what I'm saying, ma'am, there's no one to record the trespassing of my home with microwave, energy weapons, EMF. Who's going to record that? There's got to be a designated federal agency that's going to catch these criminals. Huh?
Hollering at me is not going to help.
I'm not hollering at you, man, but you guys are pointing the finger at each other. You're pointing the finger at each other because you're afraid to identify this.
We are not, like I said, if the State Department was involved, they should surely be able to tell you who they went after regarding the Havana syndrome.
Ma'am, Havana syndrome is deja vu. It's been around since the 1950s, ma'am.
Well, then go to the State Department and find out how they addressed it. They are a top agency. They look after the president. Don't you think they would have looked into it and found out who is responsible for regulating these types of things?
But who do you think is responsible for? You said the FCC, right? Okay. All right, let me contact the FCC committee. I thank you for your time, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Welcome.